All right, well, for more contributions as well as tributes, I'm now joined on the line by Hlomla Dandala, as well as in studio I have Nambitha Mpumlwana. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time. And Hlomla, a very good afternoon to you. Perhaps, Hlomla, let me start with you. I mean, South Africa is truly in shock this afternoon. Presley really captured the hearts of many South Africans in Tsotsi, for one, when he was so young. So understandably, his death has really been felt across the board. Give us your reaction, perhaps, and also how you will remember him.
We've been devastated, you know. This morning has been spent phoning people going, hey, what happened? How? And consoling each other and really healing from the shock. It's been an incredibly sad time with all the cast members, the crew, all our work colleagues. It's been a really, really tough time. And I mean, Presley, it's very rare that when you look back on the myriad of things that make us South African, that you can assign certain things to a person. We can say with a great deal of pride that the Oscar was brought home by Presley. We can say with a great deal of pride that when we say have a bev, that was Presley, and many other such things. He added to the culture, he's added to the lexicon of what it means to be South African.
Absolutely. Nambitha, of course, you've worked with him in Tsotsi. We saw you on various scenes together. It is shocking, though. I mean, just your reaction.
I think Hlomla put it succinctly that it's amazing that it's such a young person that we have to say goodbye to. I mean, we lost Umenzi, we lost Patrick Shai, and they were much older, and it hurt. But to lose such a young person, it hurts even more. But, you know, when you think back to the amount of work, the body of work that he has done, and to say that he started at the age of 10 years old, then, you know, 30 years in the business, and it means a lot. And he was a force. He was a force.
I want to go back to subsequent interviews that Gavin Hood did, you know, after, of course, that historic win, and describe what he said. He said, Presley understood the transitions from extreme rage to vulnerability that just happens in the eyes. And I immediately remember that scene between the two of you in Tsotsi, you know, where it seemed as if time had stopped. I mean, just give us that moment and how it felt seeing this young man deliver that line.
He was a baby when I met him. He was very young. But you know, one of the beautiful things about our industry is that he was surrounded by older actors. Jerry Mufukeng was there, Rapulana Sipemo was there, Kenneth Nkosi was there, I was there. And so we took the young ones under, you know, our Pico, under our wing to just make sure that, you know, the picture came out in the way that it's supposed to. But Presley had a stillness in him that commanded, it was a very commanding stillness, and the gravitas that he had. So, you know, from the vulnerable, as you say, to the rage, it all came from that stillness. And that is something that is intrinsic in a good actor. And so having worked with him on that and then seeing him, you know, grow. And I know that there was a period of time where, you know, he was doing other things and he stayed away a little bit, and then he came back in full force. And what he came back with is a vocabulary of emotion that you could, you know, ascribe and assign to the characters that he played. And of course, he was explosive. And I must say, I mean, I know I personally have played a title role in a TV series, but he actually got a spin-off. That is first in South Africa. Do you understand the, you know, the enormity of his presence? And of course, I mean, yeah, we are going to miss him. I just think, though, it's, you know, we're seeing Presley, you know, grabbing and holding the Oscar, but he absolutely did not get a penny of royalties from that work. And his family, his legacy is just on screen. It's there, oh, how amazing you were. But, you know, if we could absolutely just change the law so that his children could benefit from the body of work that he did.
Nambitha, I'm going to ask you to hold that thought, and I'm going to come back to it because I think it's an important one we keep hearing, particularly when great actors like die. Hlomla, I want to bring you back to what Nambitha said earlier on in terms of when you consider that Presley started acting at the tender age of 10, I believe it was in the Northwest Province. I mean, you begin to then see this rich journey he has had in acting. The statement from his agency speaks of how, you know, his career spanned theatre, television and film. How has that level of perseverance helped shape his craft, do you think?
Oh, gosh, it's made him an incredibly versatile actor. Nambitha spoke of his incredible stillness. And that's what he brought to the movie Utsotsi. I know when we worked together on The River, it was exactly that level of commitment. You would give him a script, and he always managed to elevate it. Always. He would see what's on the page and go, I see where the writer is going, I hear what the director is doing, and then he would add the spice that would give him such enormity, that would give the character so much presence that he would eventually get his own spin-off. Because, like I said, he's become part of the lexicon of the country. And and I do want to take the opportunity to again repeat what Nambitha has been saying, which is the value of people who add so much to the culture that is South Africa, and how that is not being remunerated properly because they simply do not enjoy the fruits of their own labor. And that has to change. It has to change, not just for Presley, but for his family, for the people that he was leaving every day, putting in 14, 16 hours a day so that they might have a better life. Now they're going to be able to watch him on screen, but they won't be able to get the fruits of his labor.
Yeah.
And that is that's immoral. There's no other word.
And Nambitha, I think it takes away from celebrating his life, because I think as actors, as performers, as people in this industry, you keep repeating the same thing to say you are not valuing our actors in their present lifetime to the extent that we would like to see.
Absolutely.
I mean, what does that then do for legacy?
Look, we have an opportunity right now. SAGA, the South African Guild of Actors,
Yeah.
we've just recently won a judgment from the Competition Commission, because before we could not set rates for actors. It's an unregulated industry, and that is hurting us immensely, and it's hurting, as Hlomla says, the legacy of the performer. So now that we're not allowed to unionize, we're not allowed collective bargaining. The contracts that we sign say that you are declaring that you do not belong to any guild. That means that it's going against the Constitution. The President needs to sign the bill for the Copyright Amendment Bill, the Performers Protection Amendment Bill, so that people like Presley and his family can, as Hlomla says, his time away from his family to come and perform for us and do all of these things can actually reverberate in their lives, and that is the legacy that he may leave them. But as it is right now, we don't have that, and that definitely has to change. And I like the word that Hlomla used. It is immoral.
Hlomla, we've come out, to the end of our interview, but as we wrap, perhaps just lasting words to his fans, his family, and to the community at large in terms of how you will personally remember him.
Oh my gosh. He was a good guy. He was an incredibly good guy. And I mean good in terms of he always made good choices, but he was also he was good. He was inherently good. His soul was good. He was a skilled performer. He was an amazing storyteller. And they always say the good die young. Presley is one of those.
Yeah. Nambitha, thank you. Hlomla, your final words, Nambitha, because, as notwithstanding, of course, the fundamental issues that still persist in this industry, Hlomla used the word skilled, and you don't find that a lot nowadays.
And good.
How will you...
Intrinsically good.
How will you remember him?
I remember his slow walk, and I remember his side smile and his side smirk. He may have sang his last song here, but I believe that his music is going to echo for a very long time in his children, in the stories that we tell of him. And he spoke, he told South African stories the South African way to South Africans, and South Africans appreciated him for that.
Yeah.
And therefore he continues to live in our hearts. And I cannot overstate the condolences from the South African Guild of Actors, from the acting fraternity altogether, and the South African community at large, to his family, his children, his partner, and his parents. My goodness, the people that brought him into this world and nurtured him so that we could enjoy him. So his song will live on.
Absolutely. Nambitha, thank you so much for your time. Hlomla, you too, thank you so much for your words too. I really do appreciate it, of course, as tributes continue pouring in following the death of Presley Chweneyagae. Let me thank our guests this afternoon.